Hey everybody, and welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. Tonight we're going to be using Stampin' Up's Made with Love bundle, or Sweet Collection. This will hopefully be my last card with this Sweet Collection, because I've made an obscene amount of cards, but I'll show you guys those here at the end. I had to rearrange here, sorry. So tonight we will be using the Made with Love DSP, which I didn't pull that out, so I can't show it all to you, but it's got some pretty patterns. The paper, I actually kind of like the paper. I'm not a big fan of pink or Valentine's Day, but it's kind of growing on me a little bit, this set. There's a lot you can do with it, and this is the card we're going to be making tonight. Just a simple love you card. You could easily switch this card up to different colors, less Valentine's in your face. You could use it for weddings, you could use it anniversaries, just thinking of yous. Again, the possibilities are kind of endless, which is kind of why I like the set. It's pretty versatile. I did a couple little baby 3x3 cards with it for a PDF tutorial that I did, which is available in the PDF store over on my website. I'll post the link in the comments when this video posts live. But we're also going to be using the Endless Love dies. We're actually only going to use the little arrows. And I cheated and already have mine pre-cut out, so I will just show you what they look like really quick. There we go. So we're going to use those two arrows. They're little, but they're cute. They're kind of fun. I kind of have some other ideas that I'm going to try and squeeze them in later, hopefully this month, to show how you can use this set outside of Valentine's Day, because we all like to be able to use it for more than one thing. And then we're also going to use the Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. And this comes with a suite. I can never really show you guys how these look like, because you can't really see. But it's just little, like a rainbow of hearts in different ways. There's a sample of what it would look like after it's been embossed. And we're going to emboss one of our pieces here. It's not going to be very visible, but it's just enough texture to kind of give it a little bit of extra bling to it. And then we're also going to use the Valentine's assortments. And that's these little decorations here. You can see I went all the way around the edge here in the original, and I don't like it, so we're not going to do that tonight. We're just going to put a few on the actual design there. These are what they are. They're loose. You can use them individually like I did here. I've done that on several cards, but you can also make shaker cards with them, which is really fun. I've kind of been obsessed with them, so I've got a couple to show you on those too. And then the is it Bubble Bath? Yeah, Bubble Bath ribbon comes with it. It's faux linen. Again, I'm not a big fan of the pink, but I like this ribbon. And because it's a light enough color, you can use your alcohol blends and turn it different colors. So it's got a lot of uses. I like how thin it is. I can't tie bows. As everybody knows, bows are not my thing. However, with this ribbon, it's thin enough. I really haven't had much trouble, which is really cool. I also used it on a packaging. I'll just grab it here and show you real quick. On a package I made to use it as drawstrings, and it actually holds up really, really well. So yeah, this ribbon is definitely a win. So our colors tonight are going to be Flirty Flamingo, Real Red, and Strawberry Slush. There was some confusion somewhere in there that for some reason I had Pretty in Pink on the brain. I don't know why, but I did. It is actually Flirty Flamingo that we're using, not Pretty in Pink. it is what it is. All the pinks blend eventually. And then we are going to be using the same colors in the cardstock. And then we're also going to use white. And Stampin' Up! Brought back the vellum specialty paper, which is really awesome. And you can buy it now in 12 by 12. I just have mine cut down in 8.5 by 11s and 6 by 6s so I can store it a little easier, but we are going to be using that as an overlay. Lots of stamping tonight. And the card will actually goes together pretty quick. So we'll just get that done, and then I will show you some samples. Like I said, I think I made, what, 12 cards I think I have total on these Valentine's things. I don't know. There was a lot. But then I also want to show you the new stamp positioner that Stampin' Up! Will be releasing on Tuesday. Will be available only in the join kits. But we'll get to that here after a bit. Let's go ahead and get to our card. And so then we can get to the fun part of the new things. Okay, let me get a little organized here. I actually grabbed the wrong color in the stack, so I had to last minute switch everything out. There will be a PDF available on my website that will have all the measurements, all the colors, everything you need. Some brief instructions will be available over on my website. You can download that anytime. It's free. It's not in the PDF store. It's actually in a separate location, so there's no confusion there. But it's there. And then there's also another tutorial from the blog hop. I think it was last week. We had our Valentine's Day blog hop. I did another card, so there's another tutorial there. And then, as I said, there's a PDF available with the Made with Love Sweet Collection that includes the bag. I didn't show you that. Do I have one out here? Nope, I don't. The little hearts bags, they're really cute. But I did a tutorial with that as well, and that's in the PDF store over on the website. Again, all the links will be down below so you guys can find it all. So let's start with our cardstock. We're gonna have a real red card base, which is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Set that aside here. My office is a mess. I've got a really big project going on for the inky shenanigans, so things are kind of crazy. Basic white, we're gonna need a piece at 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. I'm actually gonna cut this a little different. We're gonna start with the 4 by 5 1/4 because we're gonna need both sheets. So less cutting, let's just start with the bigger piece. By 4, and that is going to be for the inside of the card. And then 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. There we go. And then we need a strawberry slush. See if I can cover the right one here. And that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I know the measurements are a little weird, but it does happen. And then Flirty Flamingo? No, yeah, that's right. Is that right? Yeah. I have it written down as Pretty in Pink, so that tells you how great we're going here. It's 4 1/4 by 3, or 3 by 4 1/4. I don't know why, I just was determined to use Pretty in Pink, and Pretty in Pink would match. So if you're already pulled those colors out, or that particular pink out, it certainly will all flow together. And then last we need our DSP, and I am using the ones with the XOs and hearts. It's got the Real Red, Flirty Flamingo. I think that's Pretty in Pink, but it might be Bubble Bath. I'm not really sure. But again, like I said, the Pretty in Pink will definitely work. You can use any of the DSP, but I thought this underneath the vellum looked really good with the design that we used on the front. And this one we're going to cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And just a little tip here, before we cut, remember how the orientation of the card's going to go with the orientation of your paper. So we want it, so we're looking at it so the letters look the correct way. So if you would cut it the 4 this way, you're gonna end up with your X's and O's and hearts pointing the wrong direction. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna cut it, so start with the 4-inch, so we know which way it's going. Slide that way. And then we'll cut going a long ways at 4 1/4. Just like that. And then last, because I almost forgot, we need the vellum. And this is also 4 by 5 1/4. Just changed my blade on my trimmer, so it's kind of sticking a little bit. We're also going to need some scrap pieces of, what is it we need? Real Red and Flirty Flamingo. It says Strawberry Slush too, but I really don't. I think I was going to do 3 arrows, but ended up only doing 2. The designs change as we go along. What can I say? And gather all this here. Now, I did, like I said, I pre-cut the die, and normally this is when I would pull out the Big Shot and do everything. We're gonna need 2 arrows, Strawberry Slush and Real Red, but I already pre-cut those out because I didn't want to drag everything out with the way my office is literally a mess. But so I thought it would be easier to do it this way, and I've already done the Flirty Flamingo, and that you're gonna want to run through the I can never remember the name of it. The Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder, and it really doesn't matter where in the folder you put it. You can set it wherever you want to get the design on there. So we'll fast forward through that because we've already done it. And we're gonna skip straight to stamping, and we are going to need the 2 basic white pieces. Whoops, landslide. I tried to have everything all organized, but now I'm knocking it all over, so that's cool. Yeah, it's fun. I'm gonna go ahead and fold my card base just to get it out of the way. Sometimes when I'm working on my projects, especially if I'm doing multiples, I'll take the pieces that I'm not using and stick them inside so I don't lose them, because they will end up on the floor or who knows where else. I used to find them on the dog. We don't do that anymore, thank goodness. So we're going to need, like I said, the little one and the big one. For the big one, we're just gonna stamp the inside decoration. Just like that. I'll show you how I did the hearts there, and then these 3 hearts down here. Oops. And then you can also stamp your envelope as well, which I forgot to grab one, so I'll have to do that later. We're gonna start with the middle, which is actually on the little piece here. We're gonna start with the word love, and we are going to use the Strawberry Slush for that. And normally I am one where I use a color, I stamp it, I'm done with it. But we're not gonna be able to do that because I have to do things a little different tonight. So if that's how you prefer to stamp, I'm sorry. Gotta kind of change things up a little bit. And we're gonna ink that up in strawberry slush. And just kind of in the middle. I'm gonna stamp it down. And all that's doing is marking our middle spot, so we kind of know where everything is. And then we'll grab, I don't know where to go here. Let's go with the word U. Now the actual stamp set doesn't have just a U. It has two, from, today, and always, but it does have the sending U. So we're only going to use this word right here. We're not going to use the sending, just this one. You can do that with pretty much any, like if you wanted to do like love you today, you could, or, you know, hugs, kisses, always. You could change it up just by using one of the words, and really all you do is just not ink it up. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. We're gonna use Flirty Flamingo for it. One of the ways, which is the way usually my go-to method, is you just stamp on this side. If you see here on the ink pad, this doesn't have as much of a gap around it. So I always usually try to go for where it's more narrow and just line up where I want to go and ink it down. So now the sending isn't stamped, but the word U is. That's my personal preference on how to do it. And I'm just going to put that right there below the word love. The other way you can do it is by grabbing some masking paper that Stampin' Up! Does sell. I forgot to get some out for you to show you. And with this, you just cut a little piece that you need. Well, you would need a bigger piece here, but... And you can cover the stamp. Just like that. And then you can ink it up. And if you were to get it, you know, on the rest of it on the paper, it's okay. So now you can ink that up. So now it says U. You can see where it has the paper on it, or the ink on the paper. You just peel that off and set it over there. And then you would stamp it again. Right on there. You can see there's no, the sending is definitely not there. So that's another way you can do it. I guess it's all on a preference thing. I do, as you see, have that on hand for myself because I do use it in other things, because you can do reverse, I guess is it reverse masking, where you would actually mask the paper and then stamp? Same concept. Again, using the masking paper. And the nice thing about that masking paper is it peels off easily. You can use Post-it notes. They're great, but you have to fussy cut them out. The masking tape, you stamp right on it and go. It's really kind of nice. So that's my little upspiel on that one. Now we're going to jump to the hearts. And we're going to do these two little hearts here because I already have the Flirty Flamingo out and I don't want to confuse anything. So we're going to stamp that up in, ink that up good, and whoops, bring that closer. The hearts, and then we're going to kind of just around the word love, like that. And then again on this side. Just like that. And then we can put Flirty Flamingo away for the moment. Now we're going to grab Real Red. Now if you've never used the Real Red before, or really any of the pinks or any of the reds, they will stain your stamps. You can see mine's, these are clean, but they're stained pink. Some of the blues and the purples will do it as well. If your stamps are clean, it's fine. It's just a pigment thing. Red is a mean color. Well, we're actually gonna stamp two of the swirly hearts. I don't know what else to call them, so they have been officially dubbed swirly hearts. We're gonna stamp one up here. Got that one a little too high, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. And then another one down before I put that one away, I'm going to grab my larger sheet and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my real red. I think I need to replace it. We're going to stamp another real red right here in the corner. And then I'm also going to just lightly like that. So that's done. Did I do that? Oh, hang on. Yep, okay, so we need the today and always, which I forgot to pull up. Whoops. And here I thought I was already. Silly me. I don't know if anybody likes the new stamp cases, the way they're doing the new organization with it, but I love it. There's a little trick on how I've been putting them all together. I'll have to do a short video to show you guys how I've been organizing them, so when you peel them off you don't hear that god-awful noise. And we're going to do the today and always in real red right in the center, hopefully straight because I can't see it. It's not, but that's okay. We're done with the real red, so we're going to set that aside. And grab strawberry slush. And we're going to grab the one with the lines, the stamp with the lines through it. It's kind of dirty. And then we're going to stamp, ink that up, and we're just going to stamp that in the center of this top heart here. I'm actually, yeah, no, I'm just going to do it. I stamped him way too high. That's okay. It still works. And we're just going to, that's the only thing we do on that one. Yep. And then we're going to need our little hearts again. And the Flirty Flamingo. We'll just do the inside really quick while we're here. And to do that, I'm just going to start here next to the always, and just like I did on the first one, work my way up. So it gets lighter as you go. So really you're only using one color. It just looks like a different color. This doesn't look like real red. It looks more like a pink, but we didn't have to stamp it 100 times, which is nice. And that is all we have for the stamping portion. Again, do your envelope. Nobody likes naked. I cannot talk tonight. Nobody likes naked envelopes. So make sure you stamp one of them up. I'm not going to try to grab one because I will cause an absolute landslide. Now we're going to assemble our card. I'm going to grab everything here. I'm just going to kind of do things a little bit backwards. I'm going to start in the center. Do the inside piece. You can use whatever adhesive you choose. I, again, always use glue. I am addicted to the green glue. I made sure this one was operational before we started tonight. In the last video I did, it didn't want to work so great. And we're going to line that up, centered, straight as humanly possible. And just like that. So now our inside's done. We don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and brush it one more time with my bone folder to get it good and down. Now we're going to kind of slide that over there. Now we're going to grab the piece we stamped. And we're going to attach that right onto the piece that we dry embossed. Now, something cool you could do with that, if you were using the two-toned cardstock, you could run some sandpaper over top of the distressed portion of it. Where did it go? You could run it over like this right here, where it's raised up, if you ran sandpaper over that, it would scratch out and you would be able to see the core of the paper, so it would give it a different texture, different look. It'd be kind of cool. I might have to try that later. Got that good and stuck on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our arrows on. Again, you can use adhesive of your choice. You could even run them through the sticker sheets when you emboss or when you cut them out. You could just run it through the machine there with the actual sticker sheet. I'm just gonna put that arrow there through that heart. And then we'll put this other one. Not quite all the way through the heart, but almost. Kind of like there. That looks good. Okay, like that. And then we're going to attach this piece. You could use 3-dimensionals here if you wanted to, just to give it a little bit more elevation, more of a 3D effect. I chose not to do that. I don't know why. We're going to put this in the center of our vellum. There's a reason why I'm doing it on the vellum before doing it on attaching the vellum to here. And you'll see why here in a second. Now we're going to want to attach the vellum now to, it's not straight or centered. Oh well. We're going to attach the vellum to the DSP. Now the reason why I did attach the little one to the vellum first, because if you can see here, you can see the adhesive. Really, no matter what adhesive you use, you're going to be able to see it through the vellum. The trick is to hide it under embellishments or behind paper, and that's why I did that front one, because now I know where I can glue safely. And then we can just, because they're the same size, I know that they need to line up exact. And now I have no risk of any glue being seen from where I've attached it. Just like that. You cannot see any of the glue. You might get a little bit that seeps around it. If you over glue, I just advise staying away, kind of glue in a little bit so you don't run into that problem. Now we're going to take this DSP piece and attach it to the strawberry slush. Just like that. Oop. Let it get kind of sticky before I move it. That's really not straight. It's okay though. Just kind of gives it a unique little look there. No two cards are the same ever. At least handmade cards, I should say. And then we're going to attach that to the real red card base. Just like that. And now we're going to attach all the little embellishments, which, like I said earlier, I'm not going to go all the way around the edge. I mean, it's cute, but I don't know. I didn't like it after I did it. I kind of regretted it, but you can't really come back from that, so we're just going to skip that part. Instead, we're going to just attach a few around on the white cardstock, and to do that, I'm going to use the liquid glue. I tried to use the glue dots on these, and it did not work great at all. It did on the bigger pieces, but not on the little ones. you could see it all the way around. So if you just do a little tiny little dot around where you want them, set it on top of them, they should be fine. They should stick just great. I'm gonna do one here, come over here, and then one over here. Like that. And we'll do the hearts. Maybe a kiss if I can find one. Oh, look at it, stuck to my thumb. Yay. Little kisses, and then an envelope. I tried to get these out with the take your pick, and epic fail. It just would not go for me. I don't know why. It might have been a me problem. A user situation there. Highly probable. Or you could use tweezers. That's kind of what my go-to thing has been with these little itty-bitty things. There we go. Okay. Before I spill those again, I've done that twice and it makes a mess. We're gonna grab our bubble bath ribbon. You don't need a very long piece for this. Probably, I'm gonna say, I overshoot because I am awful at this, so I'm gonna say 6 to 8 inches, but probably less than that. We're just gonna kind of tie a little bow. Let's see if I can be successful here. The struggle is real. Haha, got it. Accomplishments. Yay. There. A cute little bow, just like that. Okay, he's not perfect, but that's okay. It's still a bow. We're gonna trim the edges off. Kind of trim him down a little bit. Again, I always overshoot. Either get too much ribbon or not nearly enough ribbon, and I'd rather have too much than not enough. So we're gonna take our little ribbon, we're going to attach them to our little end of our bow here. Like that. And that is, whoops. Okay, he's got to sit there for a minute. Again, you could use glue dots. Probably would be better to use a glue dot on the bow. Or you could actually tie it to the arrow. I just had that aha moment. You could tie it to the arrow and then glue the arrow down if you wanted to. That would raise the arrow up a little bit. Now you can see here the edges are starting to curl a little bit. What you can do to avoid that is, if I can find it, kind of flatten it down with your bone folder just by curving it or curling it. Or not, because it's not wanting to cooperate. Probably should do that beforehand. I can't ever grab that step, but you can see how it will curl it down so it's not sticking up above it. Or you could attach it down. You could grab a glue, you know, do 1, 2, 3, 4 in the corners to hold it down, and then just cover it up with the little hearts. That's maybe what I did here, now that I think about that. But that is that for that card, and now we're all done with it. Don't forget, if you're giving them away, make sure you use the follow Stampin' Up's angel policy and put the copyright logo on the back. We have a couple of stamp sets that have that copyright logo there, so you give credit to Stampin' Up for the images. But that is all I have for that card. Like I said, I have been using this suite for the last month or so, and I have made a ton of cards. So I will show you guys what I've made here. This was the one I did on the blog hop last week. Again, using the vellum, but with the vellum this time I dry embossed it and then put it under the heart there. So that's just a simple little card there. And this is one of my shakers that I did. It's my box of chocolates. It's kind of a cute, fun little card. It's literally inspired by chocolate. No, there's no chocolate in. I checked. This one you can find the tutorial is in the PDF shop. And this one I did for another tutorial. I just did a little tic-tac-toe. It's really heavy on the dies. And same with this one. I did actually have fun with this. I will be honest. It was fun coming up with different clever ways. This is the large arrow out of the die set, the Endless Love die set. That arrow right here, he's only actually about this long, but I did 2 of them, cut them in half, or cut the tips off, and then kind of made one larger one. And this one I used the bags. I can't say exactly what they're called. I literally cannot say the word. It's a tongue twister for me. But the hearts bags, I used that for the DSP on this one, just to kind of give it a different use. And then another shaker. Like I said, I was kind of obsessed with them. They were kind of fun there. And just a really fun interactive card. I know we're adults, but it's fun. What can I say? And then I did this one again with the hearts. This is another one that you could use for other occasions. You get anniversaries, weddings, or Valentine's Day if you mark it on the inside. But so those are all of the fun things that I have done with that suite. It's very versatile. You could really use it for a lot. Like I said, I'm going to try to use it in different ways in the future here to kind of show how you can use it without it being Valentine's Day. Slip that in there so I don't lose it. And now, since we're done with that, I will set all these out of the way. And then we'll get to the fun things. I've only played with this once. It came the other day, and I really haven't had time to play with it. But the Stampin', a couple years ago we had the Stamparatus, and I don't know. Well, this is just not working for me. There we go. We had the Stamparatus a couple years ago, and then we had to discontinue it for issues with the copyright on it. So they've created a new one. Now, some of my followers will know this. If you're new to my channel, you won't know this. But the Stamparatus and I have a serious love-hate relationship, and it's an ongoing battle. So I'm trying to give this one a chance. And so far, I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it either. So far, so good. Let me clear the way here. Make some room. And I grab this little thing out. Like I said, this is available beginning Tuesday. Only available in the starter kit. You have to do the join and purchase the starter kit, which is $99. You get $125 in product, plus this $60 item, or $50 item, excuse me. And this is what you get in your little box. My little bag so I don't lose it. You get this small, thinner panel to stamp, like you could put your, well, let's do love. You could put love on there, and smaller things, but it does have a purpose, I promise. Let me get all this out of the way. And this is the stamps that we're going to play with. And this is the Stampin' Positioner. Now, in the box you get the instructions, this plate. You'll get another larger plate, and then 2 magnets. These two little magnets. Now with the Stamparatus, they were long magnets. They were really long and very, very powerful magnets. I'm going to try to grab mine here. Or not, because it doesn't want to come out of the hole. Here it goes. These magnets are what we had before, and they were really hard to get off. And unfortunately, because of the power, if you held them too close, they would bounce at each other and shatter. Fortunately, I never had any break, but that would happen with these. These, however, have little tabs, so they pluck off and on really, really easy. And they don't break if you do that, which is, again, really nice. And then you also get, not the paper, you get the platform. And this all kind of attached and hooks up together. I will show you how all that goes together here in a second. But you can also get, we were able to purchase the Stampin' Positioner grid paper, which is this paper right here. I don't know that it comes in the starter kit. I think the starter kit is just this. Rumor has it they're going to make this more of a permanent regular offering, but right now we don't know when. So if this is something you really, really want, you're going to have to sign up. And I'll have another link below with the join information if it's something that you're truly interested in. And it's okay to get that, just to join for the bonuses, because you do get 20% off when you first join. After you place your order for your kit, your starter kit, you get 20% off your total order, which is kind of huge. And I know I have a couple people that have joined that just for the discounts. So that's okay too. Now another little feature with this thing is it has little springs. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it bounces. I'm sure Mom will probably yell at me from the dining room that stop bouncing it, but it bounces, literally. It's fun. Yes, I was playing with it. Now this is what I did with it the very first time I played with it. I just stamped the boat on the log here, and you may not be able to see, but I wanted to see if you could line them up exact. You know, stamp it, open it up, re-ink it, stamp it again, and it worked. You can see this side is the boat is darker than this side. I was able just to line it perfectly right back up, stamp it down, and done. So that's really cool. And then on this side, I started with I think Timid Tiger is the color I used, and then I worked my way up there without inking, so it gets lighter as it goes. But I got a perfect alignment by using these up here, which again, really, really awesome. And you get the instructions. No, I haven't read them. I'm sure I probably should, but I have not read them. So let's explore. I'm just gonna show you how to use with the Woolly Friends. I have not played with this one yet. He has a coordinating punch, just so you know. He's cute. And I wanted to use him because we're just gonna build it. We're gonna build this shape. And to do that, we're gonna grab our paper, and I'm going to, let's see, what sheet do I want? We're gonna go with, let's do this one, so he's running, because why not? And we're gonna place him on our paper, just randomly. Right there, that's good. And then I'm going to, and this will be really nice for mass productions, but I'm going to line them up. That's got a little grid here at the top where you can line your paper up. You just kind of slap it in there. And I'm going to line this up and push him down. Now you could, he's going to stick because he's new. You could put more on there if you wanted to. You could put like the grass and, you know, the little things in the sky. But I'm just gonna build him real quick because I think this is the best way to kind of show the advantage, because I know a lot of people struggle with the two-step stamping. What am I doing? I guess we're gonna have a pink sheet because I only have pink out. That's okay. So we're gonna go with a strawberry slush. Again, a pink sheep. And we're just gonna kind of stamp him on there. And it's okay if you get the ink around on the edges. It just wipes off. Just grab your cleaner and go. I'm gonna line it back up in here. Now I'm gonna set this down. Another little feature here I want to point out. I've set this down. I have not pushed down on it. Say I find I don't like that position, I want to move my paper, or I have my paper going the wrong way, I can just pick it up and move it because there's a gap in between that doesn't touch the paper, and it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to try to avoid any errors. Now, I forgot a step. I got so excited I skipped a step. We need to add our magnets so the paper don't fly. There we go. We have found that the closer to the image you are, the better, which I'm not, so we're just gonna run with it anyway. I'm just gonna push him down. Just like that. Now say I didn't like the way something lined up, I didn't like, you know, here there's some breaks in the ink, I'm just gonna reline him up like that. Push him back down, do it a little gentler this time, bring it up. And now we have the perfect image. So now we're going to take his little head, and I'm gonna line him up. I don't know if I can do both of them at once, but we're gonna try. I'm kind of learning too, right along with you guys, so. Put his little head, nope, I'm not gonna be able to do both of them. We'll just kind of put a little head here. Line him up there. Put that back where it needs to go. And I'm going to ink him up. See, I've already got strawberry slush over there. And you can, it doesn't matter how you use, you could just do it this way if you wanted to. I've found with the bigger one it's a little bit more complicated, especially if you're using a bigger stamp. But it does wipe right off, so it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so I got him lined up. Kind of got the paper where, nope, the paper's not where I need it to be because it moved. There it goes. We're gonna, there. Try again. And now we're just gonna push him down. And there's the little head because she's kind of cute. And now one more little thing is his wool. We're gonna line that up. And dog hair on the stamp. Line it up in his this little area here, and this is where I think a lot of people are gonna find an advantage to this. I know my mom hates two-step stamping, but I think if I can get her to do it this way, like this, she is going to be perfectly okay with it. I'll wipe that off. I may or may not have done that on my pants. I will never admit it. Sure he's right where I want him. And now I will ink him up. We're going to try to ink it this way. The ink spots would be really good to use on here because it's a smaller pad. Actually, I'm gonna stamp that off. Let's see. Learning curve. I'm just gonna see how that works. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll find out. And then down we go. Because it's solid, I'm gonna kind of press it a little harder than normal. Speaking of that, again, my mom has issues with her hand. She has neuropathy from her chemo treatments. These little discs, I don't remember what they're called. I think they're the puck game, the hockey game. I don't know what it's called, but you can buy them really cheap on Amazon. These work fabulous for if you struggle with pressing things. They're wonderful. Works really great with the foil too. And now we have a little sheep all put together. Yay! Okay, I like it. I'm gonna be honest. I like it. I don't hate it. It's not a love yet, but we're getting there. The more I play with it, the more I love it. Let's switch to the smaller panel real quick. And we'll create a, let's see, what do we want to do? Which stamp should we use? This is when I need someone else in the craft room with me. Let's do, you know what, let's just do the word love. How about it? He's already dirty, so it's okay. We will throw him on there. Okay, I'm gonna line my paper up. See where it needs to be, because I don't remember. Okay, we're just gonna do this a little different. Like I said, it's a learning curve for everybody. We'll clean it up. Because we should probably line it up where we want it on the paper. We should start down here. We'll go the other way. I'm gonna line it up now. These two little knobs here, these two right here, will line up in on these two instead of, don't do the little ones, but do the bigger ones. I'll line it up and grab hold of it. Like that. And then I'll ink it up. And I'm only gonna ink it this one time. I'm not gonna do it again. So you can see how it kind of fades out as we go down the line. Get it in there. And then like the other one, just press down. Just like that. And we're gonna move our magnet and set them down. I guess it doesn't really matter how you do it. We're gonna go right there. And press it down. And just keep going. Just keep popping them. Would definitely advise moving the magnet along with you. And there, now that's all perfectly lined up. Perfect straight, even spacing, just all the way down. You could use that as an actual cover. Just throw a heart on there and some decorations. Happy Valentine's Day and you're done. Really super simple. Yeah, so again, I'm going to recommend it. I'm sure my mother's probably on the other end of the house having a heart attack right now because I said that. I would highly recommend, if you struggle at all with any kind of positioning at all, or even holding onto our blocks, because our blocks can be kind of hard to hold on to, and lining up and just everything. Yeah. I highly recommend getting this. Get your starter kit. Again, it's $99. You get $125 in product plus this $50 item for free, because we don't know when it'll be offered or if it will be offered as a permanent offering in the future. So yeah, that's all I have for you. I'll be back. Oh, I might pop in the next day or two with some sneak peeks, because we did have a pre-order launch for March online exclusives, and they are here and ready to be played with and explored. But that is all I have for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed the card, your Valentine's Day cards. I hope you got an idea of what this stamp positioner is like, and how it operates and all that fun things. But we will see you guys next time. Don't forget to check out my calendar on the blog, which we have moved. We're now at mickiscreativehub.com, but the other website is also still fortunately back online, sort of operational, but you can find us on either one. And I have a whole list of all of my calendars on everything that's going on through Paper Tales and Stampin' Up. So I will see you guys next time. Happy stamping.